Welcome to the Anglican Tradition Series number 5. This session will be number 3, and I'll be dealing with when traditions, small t, traditions collide, Neo-Calvinism and the Emergent Church. I mentioned in number 1 and 2 of session number 5 that on the one hand, those who hope to, in a meaningful way, hold together a comprehensive and full view of the faith, see from the summit, and they can see small t traditions for what they are, and then traditionalism is usually a thoughtless understanding of the faith. At the present time, what we have happening in terms of the faith journey, not only in North America but in other parts of the world, is a clash between Neo-Calvinism and the Emergent Church. And in this sense, these are two small t traditions colliding. And those who come from an Anglican tradition at its best, in its most comprehensive F.D. Morris way, or the great traditions, must be wary of being drawn into that clash. For on the one hand, there is the Neo-Calvinist revival, Renaissance, embodied on one hand in an elder such as J.I. Packer, who is an Anglican, people like Driscoll of Mars Hill, Piper, Keller, and many others, who see that in the coming to be of the postmodern tradition, they will argue the great creedal and confessional traditions of the faith are being watered down, they are being undermined, they are being thinned out, and there is a need to articulate once again the means by which the Bible can be best interpreted and applied in church and public life. And so this particular rise of Neo-Calvinism returns to some of the Calvinist positions in terms of the sovereignty of God, the fallenness of what it means to be human, and a whole range of issues in terms of how they are fleshed out, in terms of men being leaders in the life of the family, in the life of the church, women playing much more subordinate roles, usually some form of right-wing politics that gets played out in the American sense, usually in republicanism in Canada, in the Conservative Party, in economics. It usually works itself out in terms of free enterprise, law and order issues, the penal theory of the atonement. There's a whole laundry list of positions that are theological, exegetical. They work themselves out in the public realm as well and in church life. This Neo-Calvinism is, as I mentioned, being heralded, moved forward by leading thinkers such as Keller, Piper. Packer is much older in this. Driscoll is much more the flamboyant, almost actor in this particular drama which is going on at the present time. So the rise of Neo-Calvinism is an attempt to defend various forms, and more importantly, the Protestant Calvinist wing of Christianity in a context in which they see it being undermined. The reaction to Neo-Calvinism and large elements of the evangelical community are also very much cheerleading on the Neo-Calvinist agenda, is the Emergent Church, or the postmodern approach to Christianity, which raises questions about violence in the Old Testament by God. It raises questions about the penal theory of the atonement. The recent film Hellbound raises questions about universalism and the Calvinist approach to infernalism or eternal torment if one does not accept Christ in this life. These issues also get spelled out again when it comes to things like the criminal justice system, the retributive view of justice, a suspicion of the use of just war, and a much more of a pacifist tradition when it comes to the war and peace issues. And so you get this clash between two T traditions going on, Neo-Calvinism and the Emergent Church, that is very much intense at the present time, and people like Gregory Boyd obviously come out of something like that, and there are many others who reflect that particular heritage. Now, Anglicans who are trying to make sense of all this must be wary when they think from a big T tradition or comprehensiveness, of being drawn into this particular conflict. Because in one sense it is a clash, it is a civil war in the lowland of the mountain between two small T traditions. And the Anglican vision, or the comprehensive understanding of faith, which is so much a part of the Anglican way, is one in which transcends that tribalism or lowland theological, ethical disputes. And so the way forward for Anglicans is very much moving beyond this lowland battle between the Neo-Calvinists and the Emergent Church.